welcome to today's forest therapy practice. This practice is going to last about half an hour, and we'll start with a grounding session. We'll move into a couple invitations, and I have a closing ceremony. Forest therapy is a practice based off of Japanese forest bathing. The idea that being outside in nature is good for us, good for our sense of belonging and community, and helps us feel better, helps us mentally and physically and spiritually just be in a better place. So you don't have to be outside for this practice, but you can be if you want to be. If you don't want to be outside, just find a place around you that reminds you of nature, maybe a window or some plants, anything that makes you feel like you're kind of tapping into that nature element. And if you want to pause this video now and take it outside for the practice, it would be a good time to do that. Alright, and then we'll get started. If you want to find a place where you can be comfortable, seated for the next 10 minutes, we'll begin our grounding practice. If it's safe to do so, I invite you to close your eyes and turn that gaze inward, maybe onto our breath. Noticing our inhales and our exhales. Maybe taking any movement the body wants to take in this position. Moving your shoulders, maybe shaking out your head. And just letting ourselves settle into the present moment, settle into being in our body, settle into our breath. Now, extending our exhale a little bit longer than our inhale. So if our inhale is 1, 2, 3, our exhale is 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now just noticing our body, noticing if anything feels heavy in our body. Maybe our neck feels heavy or our legs. Maybe where our hands are touching our body feels heavy. And just tapping into that, not fighting it, letting that heaviness sink all the way into the ground, all the way into the space below us. Just letting that heaviness express itself fully. And as that heaviness comes out of our body, noticing what it comes into contact with. Maybe it comes into contact with a chair or the floor. Maybe imagining a space below us in the ground where our heaviness kind of pools into a puddle, or maybe a marshmallow or a cloud, maybe a pool of water. And now taking that heaviness and letting it move around. Maybe there's emotion that heaviness wants to feel now that it's out of our body. Maybe a swirl or a wave. Maybe it just wants to lay still. Now noticing our body again, noticing any different feelings from when we began our practice. Any sensations that are different. Maybe our body has a different color or a different texture. Maybe there's a sound that our body has now that it didn't have before. And now just as we scanned our body for heaviness, let's now scan our body for lightness. Is there any place in your body that feels lighter or more airy than the rest? Letting that space in your body become lighter and lighter, flowing upwards, higher, and noticing what that lightness might come into contact with as it's out of our body. Does it come into contact with the air around us? Maybe the temperature? We notice a difference on our skin. Maybe it goes up to touch the branches of a tree above us. Maybe a bird that's flying overhead. Maybe that lightness goes all the way to the clouds above us, all the way to the edge of our sky. And wherever it goes, let's imagine it staying there for a moment. And notice if this lightness has any movement to it. Is it dissipating or evaporating? Is it moving around quickly? Maybe it just wants to stay still. Maybe it wants to warm with the sun and spread out as far as it can reach. Now let's let that lightness go. Come back into our body. And notice if our body feels any different from before. Maybe there's a different sensation in our body, a different texture, a different color. Now noticing our breath again. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. How our breathing is a microcosm of that heaviness and that lightness. And how thrilling it is to hold all of that inside us with each breath we take. How we can trust these larger systems around us of lightness and heaviness. How we don't have to do anything to experience them. They're just given to us through our breath. We'll never have to perform to earn them. We can never make a mistake that will cause us to lose them. This lightness and heaviness, this inhale and exhale, they are ours simply for being alive. Now imagining the space above us and below us. Is there anything from that space we want to bring into our body? Any sensations that we want to take with us for the rest of our day? Any movement or stillness that we choose to invite into our space, into our body? Knowing that those are always available to us, always available for us to invite in. Any time of the day or night. No matter where we are, no matter what we've done or we haven't done, that lightness and that heaviness is available. Always, all the time. Now just sitting in that and enjoying that for a few breaths. Trusting in that for a few breaths. Let's bring some movement back into our body. Maybe moving our fingers and our toes. Maybe moving our torso a little bit. Maybe moving our head and watching the light behind our eyelids. And when we're ready, opening our eyes, coming back to the present moment. That was our grounding practice. I just want to share how wonderful it is to always be reminded what's available to us for just existing. It's always a nice reminder. If there's anything that you would like to share, now's a good time to do that. Okay. Alright, let's move on to our first invitation. So for this first invitation, I'd invite you to explore the space around you, and I want you to find the gaps or the openings in the environment around you. So we'll take about 7 minutes to do that. Just explore around you, finding what openings exist, what gaps exist, what spaces exist. And we'll come back about 21 minutes in. I'll see you in about 7 minutes.